All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the Half Court Podcast. I am Darwin. We got AV behind the camera, and we got an audience. My guy saw it, you know what I'm saying? But today, we got Blanco, right?
Yeah.
The Blanco brothers. We got Erick and Juaquin, man. Thank you guys for coming by, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it for having us.
So, what do you guys do, man? And just kind of go from there.
Right now, what I'm doing, I am helping manage a body shop. Auto collision and everything like that.
And I'm an internet sales manager up at one of the local car dealerships up here.
What car dealership you work at, bro?
Ford.
Okay. Nice. Okay, and you said you worked 5 years in the car industry.
Car business, yeah.
So this podcast is mainly going to be about that, about the car industry and kind of give your experience and your experience as well, and kind of help the people out. And because you guys commented on that podcast that I mentioned, the whole situation with myself, and
Right.
we're like, all right, let's get these brothers in, man.
Hey, man, feel free to do what they did. Hit us up on there if you guys want to feel like you have something to say. Well, just hit us up. That way you guys can come.
Exactly, man. We'll fit you in, man. So, who wants to start, man? To kind of tell their experience in the business.
He got into it first. He got a month in.
So, yeah, I went in for a month in the business. I was like, man, no one speaks Spanish. There's just any type of car industry. Everybody's Asian or white on there. And so Hispanics alone always want to buy a vehicle, but they don't feel comfortable buying from somebody that they can't understand. So I figured, I was waiting tables. I was like, I can't retire from waiting tables. Let me find something I can do. So I went in. Only person in the entire auto mall up in Edmond. No one speaks Spanish. Called him, was like, hey, they're hiring. We'll come through, applied, got the job. So we pretty much started right at the beginning of everything. And it was one of those weird things. Once you advertise yourself that you're selling cars, your friends start posting it, and then people start showing up that you've never seen before that speak Spanish and are like, start helping. So you always want to help the people. But at the same time, it's one of those where they're like, hey, help me out. And then you tell them this is the price, and then that's going to be it. Like, I can't help you anymore. And then they don't believe you because dealerships always win.
Being Hispanic, like, we know how our parents are. We want the BBB. You know what the BBB is?
It's bonito.
Bueno, bonito, barato.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And us selling cars and everything, man, it makes it hard because the Hispanics, they want better. It's like, how much more do you want? So whenever they go in and talk to like a white guy or whatever, they can't get that through. So whenever they see Hispanics and everything so they feel more comfortable and they feel. Yeah. We all been to a dealership with one of our parents or something. You know how it is, like.
Yeah.
And it's my dad first saying that, estos putos nos van a chingar.
Yeah, so like that's the everybody that comes through.
And that's the reputation when you hear a car salesman. The first thing is like, these motherfuckers are gonna screw you. That's just what it is. Like, based on my experience, and that's what I was saying. Like, my first car, man, it was a Mitsubishi Lancer. I wanted that motherfucker. It was a 2014, I think it was, and I wanted that motherfucker by all means. So
right.
I was young. I was 18. Went to the dealership. They made it look pretty. I was like, all right, bet. Didn't ask for how much was the interest rate. Didn't nothing. So
you had one thing in mind, and that was to drive out with that car,
exactly.
right?
So yeah. So
Where's the keys? Type
so
shit.
as a salesman, you want that customer
Right.
because they're excited. You know you're going to sell the car at, doesn't matter what the price is. You're selling that car.
When you sell a car, is the more interest you tack on the customer, the more you get paid?
No. So the interest has nothing to do with
credit.
the salesman. That's based
one,
off your credit.
That's one thing that, like, I want to talk about. Like, people think the down payment goes to the salesman. The interest goes to the salesman. We ain't got nothing to do with that. That's with you in the bank. The down payment, like, you see it. Like
you guys are basically the middleman. You guys are just.
That's all. That's all our job is to be the middleman.
On there, so
you gotta go to the little office with the fucking.
With the sales manager that's gonna tell you like, hey, this is like truly the lowest, or this is. So
shit.
Like at the end of the day, you're there to work. You're there to make your money, but at the same time, you don't have to make your rent off one customer. on there. So,
like, how much do you guys make on average for a car sale?
So obviously it is commission based. Everybody knows that. But every dealership has different percentages that they will pay their salesmen.
I guess if you could just throw a fucking.
So like the average out there is like a 25% commission is the average here in Oklahoma City that they pay.
And then on average, how much is a salesman selling? Like, how many cars are they selling?
That just depends on what kind of salesman you are.
The dealership implies you have to sell 8 cars to work here. Like
eight cars a month.
The minimum.
We call it 8 or the gate.
8 or the gate.
That's how cutthroat the car business is. It's 8 or the gate. If you don't sell 8 cars,
in a month,
you out. Yeah.
in a month, huh?
Because you have a total of 26 working days. If you take all your days off, you're down to 23 working days. 24, 22.
And that's maybe taking your days off. That's one of the reasons I got out the car business.
And you said you lasted there for 5 years.
5 years.
God,
Are you guys good salesmen?
What kind of way are you talking?
Like, are you guys fucking? How many cars are y'all selling?
So when I was selling, I don't sell now. I make appointments and everything, so it makes it easier for me. But when I was selling, I was averaging anywhere 15 to 25, depending on what kind of month we had.
Wait, 15 to 25 what?
Cars.
A month?
A month.
God damn.
But it just,
See,
so
I
like
was
September
The
when
checks
the
were fat, huh?
It depends on the months.
It depends on the month, but
Depends
like,
on the months.
when the fair's here, that's when I would only sell 15 cars, 16 cars, because everybody's spending their money having a good time at the fair. On there, or the
What
kids
was the
are going
best
back to
month?
school.
Like,
So the best month to work at a car dealership would be
December's one of them.
December.
because the end of the year, you guys
End
are
of
trying
the
to
year,
get ready
blow
of
out, get all those.
because you're getting the newer models in, and you're trying
Yes
to like.
and no. A lot of businesses, their accountants tell them, "Hey, y'all got to spend money," and they're ready to spend. Hey, I need that truck. That's it.
Write
I don't
it
care.
off.
Write off.
Yeah, it's a
So
write
all
off.
the
They don't care
write-offs.
what they're paying for it. They don't care anything. They're just like that truck right there. Put it.
So
get
the
it ready.
slowest month you guys.
Young Darwin.
Yeah.
But no, it's different.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
smart. They
Yeah.
have to spend.
Right,
If not, they
'cause
got to
it's
write that check.
Yeah. What the slowest month? What would you say is the fair? When the fair is
so
September.
September,
In the beginning,
and
almost of the year, also.
and January.
Yeah, I think January is slow for
Everybody.
everybody. Like at Verizon, it's slow as shit.
because
Like,
people are recovering from that Christmas money and
Yeah,
they
for
spend
sure.
everything. But May and April would be like, and
Summertime. Yeah.
July would be like the best.
July.
June kind of drops down because everybody's getting ready to go back to school
Yeah.
and do all their school shopping and stuff. And then July, once they start leaving, the college kids come through, buy their cars, and parents.
When they're leaving to college or when,
And how does it work? Because I know you go to a dealership and they have new cars, and the car you saw that month is gone. So you guys rotate.
so
Do they
you wanna get
rotate the
into that,
cars?
or-
On the used car side, we do have a span of 90 days. Within
sell it.
90 days, the car has to be sold. If not, it gets sent to auction or it gets sold to a different dealership.
Because technically, the dealerships don't own their cars. They're owned by a bank, and they basically are all out on a loan. Either if it's the new cars or used cars.
So it's the bank.
The bank owns all those cars. And then if it's a brand new car that we're talking about, they got a year to sell that car. If they don't sell it within that year, then they got to start paying on it. And that's whenever you can get like a stupid deal on a car. It's a car that's been sitting on their lot. But then again, it falls into those cars that nobody really wants. It
Right.
doesn't have the big screen. It doesn't have like all the amenities that everybody's looking for. So that's why that car's sitting there.
You still
But
gotta fucking put the window up with the.
Yeah, so it's a base model.
It's a base model, bro. But like those are good beginner cars for people that have bad credit, or beginner cars for somebody that's actually being smart about it.
Little trap mobile.
Hey, let me change this shit. I can't see Kato G. Let me just get it. This is distraction right here, Bubs. Or a fine ass. Oh, God. Oh, shit. This shit tripping.
So
Hey.
what's some of the most disrespectful shit clients have said to you?
Oh, man. Get me somebody that can actually tell me about this truck. Yeah, obviously.
It's because you never know who you're talking to. You never know who you have in front of you. I've had, people that I look at them like, I don't know who this dude is or whatever. And like, we're told this is the way you got to do it. If we don't do it this way, then the managers are going to yell at us. So when we talking to you and everything, and like one of the always questions is going to be, are you going to finance this car? Are you paying cash? How you paying for this vehicle? And everything. And then you get those assholes that have stupid money, like, it don't matter, I can do it whatever way. I'm like, all right, cool.
you money.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you got to treat them a little bit different, you know. But at the same time, they got to respect you because, I mean, we're all from the South Side and everything. I mean, exactly. You got me fucked up. It's like, I'll let you talk to old Johnny back there like that, but you ain't talking to me like that. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, because it's just a lot of people think that since they have more money. Since they have more money, they think they, like, in a different category. Like, you can't talk to me, you peasant. Like,
right. And so, touch on that. Like we've had people from high up in Chesapeake. He actually like became really good friends with somebody.
I got really close to one of the guys that like ahead of the Chesapeake and everything, and like I called him for a cool minute. I was calling him my dad, and I'm calling his wife my mom, and everything. And then like they bought a GMC, they bought a Dodge from me, and then they bought an SRT8 Jeep from me. And every time that they wanted anything with cars, like, hey Eric, you got this? I'm like, yeah. And then they moved to Utah. Or whatever, and then he was still texting me and everything like, "Hey man, how you been?" He's like,
"What would you say is the key to be able to become that?"
Just be yourself, man.
You
like,
have to be likable. If you're not likable, but yeah, you have. It doesn't matter where they're at in the ladder of, I make this much money and that much. If you're likable and you can find common ground with them, just anywhere. If it's like with cars, if it's with sports, if it's with their job, you know something about their job. Like, you have to pretty much know a little bit of every single thing that goes out in the world to be able to find common ground with somebody to where they'll
start a
talk to
conversation
you.
and
then
stuff.
You can't say no stupid shit because, like, if they told you that they need a car for this and then you're just trying to sell
that's
it.
why you got to pay attention.
Yeah. Like,
so, like,
here's this one. And they're like, no.
That's your job. Your job is to pay attention. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, anything you tell me, I'm going to use against you once we get to the numbers. Hey, remember that when we were first talking, when I were asking you, what is it that you're looking for in the car and everything, you told me you want this, this, and this, right? Yeah. All right, well, the car that you're looking at has way more, but you said these are the more things that you want, and these are the most important things to you. Well, yeah. All right, well, this car's not in that payment. This car's the one that's in that payment. And then they're like,
So you kind of just got to make
you got to pay attention.
To choose.
Right.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, because everybody says it doesn't matter what the payment is, it's all about how much I'm paying for the car.
It depends on the buyer.
Realistically, are you paying cash for it? About 95% of the time, they're going to say no. So at the end of the day, what can you afford monthly? That if you like this more expensive car, if I can get it within that range, that it's going to be like $10, $15 over, are you ready to buy that car? And most people will be like, yes, or no, I have to stay
like,
right
fuck
here.
It. I'll be whipping a caddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that too is like a lot of people are concerned about the monthly, and I've seen it. My brother's in the market for a car, but he's like just worried about the monthly. I'm like, you need to worry about the overall price more than anything.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about. Is like, it's easy if you can do simple math. It's easy to buy a car.
Right.
Like, people make it so complicated. Like, you can't go on Google. Literally, you can go on Google right now and type in car payment calculator. Literally, the only thing you're not going to know is going to be what interest rate you're going to qualify for. But other than that, everything there. So if you're looking
at like the most important part,
yes and no.
Interest rate, yeah, for sure.
Yes and no.
That's the extra money you're paying.
Correct. But so what you do is, we'll put an example: $20,000 car. You do 20,000 divided by how many months are you going to do on that loan? So typically it's going to be 72 months that everybody's going to do on the loan, car loan and everything, 72 months. But I mean, if you're going to afford bigger payments, it's going to be smaller amounts, 48 months, 60 months, and everything from there. So if you do literally right now on the calculator, 20,000 divided by 72 months, you're going to get a number. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but you get that number. You add interest rate. What interest rate do you qualify for? That's the what part. Like, what am I going to qualify for? Now, if you know that you have good credit, or if you know you have bad credit, or if you have no credit, you can look at programs all across. Like, you can get on Tinker's website, first-time buyer program. What do they offer? Usually it's going to be like 10%. I mean, people was like, oh, well, that's a high interest rate. It's a high interest rate because they don't even know if you can pay that stuff back yet. So, of course, it's going to be higher. You're not going to qualify for the best interest rate out there if you haven't even put in your time.
You got to work.
You got to wait, yeah. So, yeah, they start you off with a 10% interest rate or whatever. So then you add that 10% interest rate onto the math that we just did from the 20 divided by 72 months, add the interest rate, that's your payment. And people make it so hard, like, oh, well, where's all these numbers? Like, it's math, simple math. There's nothing to it. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that goes into is like, every 1,000 that you put down is typically what, 10,
15 to $20 depending
Yeah.
on the rate.
That's all you're getting out of it. So if you can afford to pay an extra $15, $20 a month, why are you going to go and put $1,000 down? Why are you going to put 2,000, 3,000? But I mean, if you put I would say if you're going to put more than $5,000 down, then go ahead, because that's actually going to make a difference in your payment. But if you're only putting like $1,000 down, bro, keep that money, and you're going to use that for your tags first of all.
Yeah, to get that.
And then just save yourself $15, $20. You're going to make that real quick.
So I'm pretty sure you guys got that a lot, where people got an expensive car working like a regular job, like in debt for a car or truck that was super expensive.
Yes or no? The bank won't allow it. So it goes
They
depth of income.
Oh, okay. So they calculate that shit.
Yeah, so they calculate it to where you can only have this much going out for a car payment. So a car payment, they allow 35 to 40% to go to a car payment. The rest of it is for your house, your bills, your food. They'll tell you, okay, you have this much buying power, about $700 of buying power a month to buy a car. You can max out and buy a car that's worth $700 a month if you want, or you can buy a $300, $400 car. But then if you max out, your debt to income goes higher to where if you want to get a credit card, if you want to buy a house or whatever, that limits to what you can actually buy or your chances of getting approved. So that's the other thing that goes into play when you get into getting a loan for it, is the banks look at what your debt to income is already before they give you an approval. We've had customers that get declined at 800 because they're already like at that. They only have 5% available to buy another car because they have 3 other cars.
800 credit score, but they can only.
But they can, and they make the
They're
money.
max.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
They
On
have
payments.
$3,000 houses. They got $2,000 worth of cars going out, and then plus all their bills.
Yeah, I think my sweet spot is anywhere from $300 to $400 a month for a car. Obviously, I'm looking at the overall price, but that's my sweet spot for now. You know, I just don't see, like, the luxury is nice to have on the features and this and that, but if the car can take me from point A to point B, I'm happy with that shit. And I like cars.
If you're not making no real fucking money, why are you trying to stunt?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing we ran into
Yeah,
all
man.
the time.
If you ain't saw, don't stunt, man.
But like the biggest thing is you'll have those customers that come in like, I only want BMW, Lexus, and you try to explain to them like these cars are nice and all. But
break.
after 80 to 90,000 miles, it's the worst car to own.
That's what I've heard that with BMWs.
BMW.
They have a bad rap.
I don't know. Ask him.
So they in the car business, everybody's like BMW, broke man's wallet.
And they're nice. I like the all the technology, because if you think about it, what it's BMW and Mercedes, they've like 10 years ago, they had the technology that cars now have. So like they've always been innovating and doing this all fancy shit.
Are good if you buy the
Expensive, high end.
the ones that are cheap, stay away from.
So cheap BMWs and then
Yeah, I mean, like that, you buy what you get, or you pay for what you get.
Yeah.
That's
Apply
exactly
it.
what it is when you buy a 100,000 mile luxury car over. So like the 100,000 mile cars you want to buy are the Toyotas, the Camrys, the Honda, on their Mazdas from time to time. They make some really great cars, and those are the ones that are
Last forever. So
inexpensive.
if you pay attention, like if you see all these like Asians or white
Toyota
guys,
and
Hondas,
That's me.
They last forever. We would get cars traded in, and everything. Like this is the other thing that you don't ever know who you're talking to, because you'll see them pull up. Man, this bookie ass Honda pulling up. God damn, I'm gonna waste my time. You see this dude get out the car and everything, comes up talking to you and everything. And you end up finding out that he owns this. It's like,
they just want reliability at that point. Like they
ain't worried about showing off to anybody.
Right.
They ain't worried about none of that. And it's like,
You've had that guy that shows up in overalls and no shirt, pull up, buy anything he wants an entire dealership.
Anything he wants.
And as soon as, if you don't even talk to him or anything, he gets up, leaves. Someone else comes out, talks to him. And I've had it happen before. We're like, I'm not even going to talk to that guy. He redneck. He ain't going to talk to me at all.
Yeah.
And
turns out he wants to buy some good
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, like, nobody goes out and talks to him because they're like, nah, he can't afford shit. He pulled up in a 98
We're
Chevy.
quick to judge, huh? We
And
fucking
then
quick
everybody
to judge.
in the sales, I mean,
Yeah.
you see it too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah, for
sure
sure,
because
yeah.
y'all got all those windows right there. Y'all like, man, this motherfucker can't.
Yeah, like
he can't buy no
next
cheese
thing
for
you
a
know-
Whopper.
But then, but then you go and talk to him. He's like, man, let me just go do my due diligence and go see what he's about. What I can actually help him find out.
but that's like-
man, I'm trying to buy 3 for the farm. I got this. If I can keep it within this budget, I don't need all the fancy stuff. I just need it
I'll
for
write
work.
a check for it right now too.
Right.
Bet, sign me up. Like,
Yeah, we're quick with it, and it's and when you see the guy pulling up on this fancy car, he's the one that's broke. Hey, can you give me a discount on
he-
this? And
yeah.
how
He's the
much-
dick. He's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
dick, bro. Like we've had
Man,
people.
Fuck, I see that as a barber. Like really, bro? You fucking tripping on $5 and pulled
Man.
up in a fucking expensive ass whip.
Or they pull up in them lifted ass trucks with all the.
Yeah. No, actually, some of those lifted truck motherfuckers are pretty.
They good?
At least the ones I know, yeah, they
shout
they
out
got
to Erick, that
yeah.
boy takes
yeah,
care
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He do
There's
exactly.
a couple. There's a couple that do. Yeah, they can afford those trucks, and they're making bank pretty
Right,
much.
right.
But what do you think it is? Is it the way it's advertised to like, hey, it's okay to get in debt, to get in debt,
That's
to get in debt?
ain't that part of like the American dream or something
Right.
like that?
I had this question
But-
for you guys. Do
What's
you
up?
guys like look at it that way? Like, let's say somebody comes in and you already know that they're que están hasta la verga in debt, and then you guys can still prove them for some shit. Like, do you still just sell them
so
the car and then you don't really give a fuck about that? Like, you're like,
Well, if they want it,
And
right?
that has nothing to do-
Exactly.
Like the thing is,
Who are you to tell them like, no, you're in debt?
We're
Fuck
an
you.
establishment, right? You're coming to us. We're not going out to look for you.
But
you're
what
coming
about
with
the
a
calls? Like, whenever
You put in a lead.
You put in
How
a
we
lead.
get your number?
If, for instance,
You
you're
put
looking
it
for a
there.
car and you want a Ford F-150 and you're shopping on my website and you're like, well, I want to know more about this car. Does it have this option? Does it have that? Let me ask them. So your information, you put in your information so someone can call you and let you know that, hey, it does have 4x4. It does have this. Cool. Well, I want to come look at it tomorrow. That's what I do on there. So I'll call
Yeah,
you,
he's the
set you up,
he's the
let you know.
motherfucker that annoying as hell, calling you.
If you don't answer
That's his
today,
department.
I'll call you tomorrow. If you don't answer tomorrow, I'll send you a text. If you don't answer, I'll call you. I'll send you an email every single day until you tell me, hey, I already bought a truck. Hey,
Stop
I'm
it.
sorry, stop
Stop
it.
it.
Yeah. But if you don't answer, you don't tell me nothing, then I'm going to keep doing my job to have you come on.
Not
here
only that, they also have a system that shows you whenever you're back on their website.
on there. So,
So-
if you tell me, hey, no, I'm done, but then 2 days later you're on my website and tells me you're on there.
They
for
get a
like
notification.
6-7 times.
AV
Like,
is
hey,
on
bro,
your website.
I just received.
Grant Cardone said no interest is a level of interest.
Yep. Yep.
See,
So you know awesome. Grant Cardone is one of like the best guys in sales. Period. He started in the
I don't know
automobile.
about that.
He started an automobile.
he
getting
started
a
an
lot of
automotive
dirt.
commission. He gets a lot of dirt because he's a cocky ass. He's
Well,
cocky.
not-
Shit that he's been doing lately.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, buying a jet?
No.
What do you do?
He's what he's doing with this.
You're gonna be disappointed in Uncle G, bud.
Yeah.
With his daughter.
So his university, what is it? The Grand
Grant Cardone
Grant Cardone.
University. Yeah.
So he's pretty much telling the people to give them money so he can invest
into
and
the housing.
Yeah, but that's a big failure. You know more information about that, so can you kind of?
There's some videos out there. Just put like Grant Cardone exposed, and they go through it. Fuck.
Bro, I saw
I
it.
still fuck with Grant Cardone. Like
I've learned.
the 10x.
Mhm,
the
10X
program,
program.
Yeah.
that was cool.
So,
but
like, the-
I feel like a lot of his advice is kind of like it can be kind of irresponsible.
It's
So like that's the newer him. So more like for the car business to like do the training and stuff. You have to go back a few years when he was actually in the car business and talking mostly about cars. Now he's all about the mortgage and
His
buying
fucking
houses and
yeah.
G-Wagon
all
and
that.
shit.
Yeah. So like the back in the day ones, he would sell customers over the phone and be like, you know who this is.
I've seen videos, I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube, where he's literally walking through his building and everything, and then they're selling the program, you know, that, hey, do you want Grant Cardone to come to your dealership? Or
Yeah.
we got people that fly out to your dealership and everything. He's on the phone with these people. One of his salesmen is. And then he grabs the phone. He's like, well, what's going on? He puts it on pause. You seen it? He puts it on pause. He's like, what's going on? And he tells him, he's like, all right, answer the phone. He's like, hey, what's going on, man? And then he's like, they recognize his voice right away. They're like, oh, this is Grant Cardone. He's like, it don't matter who it is. Are you in or are you out? This is what it's going to do for your business. Are you in or are you out? And he's like, he's like,
and I'm gonna tell you what, dude.
Yeah.
he's all like, I'm gonna tell you what. He's all like, it ain't about $5. If you're worried about $5, don't even buy it. He's all like, if that's what you're wanting, don't even buy it. So are you in or are you out? And then he's all like, yeah, go ahead and do it. He's like, all right, cool. And you just got closed by Grant Cardone. And then he's like, here, get his credit card information. Let's go. It's like, dude, that motherfucker can close.
So you have
he's
to
blunt.
believe in yourself though.
So basically this is what the understanding I got. The people that were signing up to his university, he was basically telling them how you're gonna get rich is by giving me your money so I can
invest in
but,
the apartments.
Whatever.
It's apartment complexes that he buys.
But that was the whole thing. Like people got into Grant Cardone University thinking, oh, this dude's gonna teach me some crazy shit, and really it was.
See, I ain't never bought any of the programs.
Give me your money. And I'm gonna play with that shit. So
I was
like,
gifted his programs by somebody.
and really, what it was a lot of young motherfuckers that were brainwashed by his ass because he was just that old dude that. Like we were
Confidence
like,
and
uncle.
shit.
That's your uncle.
Those type of videos that you're talking about. Like we were mind blown. Like oh shit, he closed it just like that. Like I can do that.
Yeah. I read his book, The Sold or Be Sold, and that
He
taught
sold
me,
you,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah, it taught me some shit. So he's pretty good with that.
Yeah.
On that aspect and shit.
I
So
went to Robert. What's his name? The Rich Dad Poor Dad dude. Are you guys familiar?
Robert Kawasaki.
Yes.
I'm
I
not.
went to one of his seminars. Like they hold those free seminars at like hotels and shit. My
Grant
God.
Cardones are expensive.
Those salesmen, bro, they're savages. They'll come up to you and they're like, they kind of give you like a little spill, and they're like, in order for us to give you the everything, you gotta
Pay.
Right.
Yeah, but they come to you with like they have a notepad with a little tablet, and they're ready to take your credit card. But they're aggressive though. They're like, then why are you here? If you're not ready to commit, why are you here?
Right.
Well, it's the same thing.
Bro.
It's the same thing at a dealership. We'll take it back. Take it back.
Came to get this book and this little free video. And shit.
Yeah.
Like we'll take it back to the car business. Why are you at the dealership?
You're interested.
You're interested, right? So if I get the numbers right, are you gonna buy? All right. So you told me, yeah, right. So now I come back and I give you the numbers that you want, but now you are, I want to think about it. What is there to think about? I asked you, you wanted these numbers, right?
Well, let me talk to my wife.
All right, call her.
She's at work.
She can take 5 minutes,
I don't know.
Let's take the car to her.
or that too.
God damn.
We'll pull up on
Sold.
her. Let's pull up on her.
God damn.
It's like
Hey, can I smoke a blunt in it?
go.
It's your car.
It's your car. It's like now you're taking ownership because once you told me, hey, can I smoke a blunt on? I mean, you can smoke your blunt on it, but just so you know, it's your car now.
Oh no.
So I mean, I had a customer like that too. Another person that you don't know who you're talking to. He was like, man, I want to drive a Wrangler. He's like, I got a lot of property or whatever. He's like, I want to drive a Wrangler. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, we do a lot of new houses. He's like, I want to see if I can get it in through the neighborhood whenever it's muddy and all that stuff, all the dirt and everything. He's like, so can we drive it? I was like, yeah, cool, let's go drive it. We drive in the Wrangler and everything. And then he's like, can we take it off-roading? I'm like, man, I'm going to get in trouble at the dealership. It comes back all dirty, It's like, but at the same time, I'm like, man, fuck it. Why not?
Got to get a sell.
Yeah, I was, and like me being me, I was like, he ain't going to find no place. We're in Edmond, bro. He ain't going to find no place to go off-roading. He pulls into this place. I told him, yeah. I was like, yeah, go ahead. He pulls into this neighborhood. Bro, he pops the curve and he just starts driving through the neighborhood. I'm like, oh, shit. It's like brand new houses going up. Just driving over the mud and everything. I was like, hey, just so you know, if the cop pulls up, it's on you. He's like, oh, no, I own all this property. I was like, oh, shit. I don't know if y'all heard of Khalidi Kia,
Nah.
the dealership in Edmond. He's the owner. Well, he didn't have the dealership. He's known for his housing and everything. And what's it called? That was him. Like, dude, bro, if you walk into his dealership right now, there's a Lambo, Ferrari, McLaren, G-Wagon, all his personal cars. It's like, I'm riding with him. I told him straight, I was like, hey, just so you know, we get pulled over, it's on you. He's like, oh, I own all this. He's like, right here, there's going to be over 150 houses. There's going to be a pond right there. There's going to be another pond over here. Look, I'll show you. And like, he just started driving through the mud. I'm like, oh, shit.
Did he end up getting the
Yeah, he bought it.
Ah, shit. See?
But-
Yeah. Go above and beyond. Yeah. That's crazy. So, like, you guys get to see and meet people that are doing big shit, like, business-wise.
Business-wise,
What
you
what
meet,
kind of
like, the
connections do you
nicest
guys
people, too.
and relationships do you guys, like, establish with these people?
So that depends. I mean, we got
We get some that are personal level, some that are just like all business, and they call you and said, hey, I want this, this, and that. Let me know you got it. If not, don't call me.
Don't waste my fucking time.
But they'll call you every time they need something. Like, hey, I mean, you got 3 days. If you can't find it in 3 days, just send me a text. I don't have it, and
I'm gonna go on.
And you guys are basically dealing with just emotions all day because you can,
All
like
day.
you said,
So,
you
yeah.
could-
So
like,
our
you could
job-
deal with a grandma, or you could deal with a fucking
Business.
jerk, or like.
So, like, what makes it personally when you get that customer that is an asshole, dick, and wants to do it this way.
And you gotta be like,
And
you
you-
gotta calm. I'm a hothead. I
Me
get hot
personally,
quick.
it was easy for me to get those customers to buy more than the customers that were excited, that were happy, just because I would tell them every last thing they want to know about the car, because they're like, oh, the last dealership I went to, they couldn't even tell me what the car, what kind of salesman are they? It's like, cool. Well, let me tell you everything you want to know about it. What is it you want? And you just spill everything off, and they're like,
In reality,
kind of like respect you because you actually know your craft. So then they start bringing it down to where, they're not a dick, and then those are the ones that you can
See, like
make
you're
a little bit
describing
more.
my dad. My dad will come in like real, just like you're not fucking me over.
Yeah.
But then as soon as
You
he
break
finds-
'em down,
as
bro.
soon as he
You just
finds
start
that
breaking them
person
down.
that, he's cool with, and he's like, you know, like this nigga will buy whatever, you know. But at first, if he doesn't like the sales guy,
he's done.
and not just that, he's a dick too. He's gonna sit
Yeah, I
there
think
and-
the way,
bro, go home.
yeah.
See, at that point, like I can't, like me, I like the dicks, like acting.
Pause.
Easy now.
He didn't even say no homo.
Like the customers that are the dicks, like that's me. I like confrontation. Like I will get it, like whatever you want to say, I'm gonna confront you about it, and I'm gonna put you right back into your place whenever you try to get at me. Like me and him, we will switch customers. Hey, I ain't getting anywhere with this guy, and then I'll tell him straight up too, like, hey, I ain't getting anywhere with this lady or this dude. Switch me, and then we'll switch, and then like he's more.
So
chill.
you guys used to work together.
Yeah. We worked in the same building for 5 years, bro. Like,
damn.
And it got crazy because like he's more of like the calm, collective, and
real, I
like,
can see, like,
he's
the more-
a teddy bear.
You're
He's a big teddy bear, bro. Like he's a big teddy bear. And when the customer's in there being a dick and trying to beat him up and everything, like I'll walk in there like, all right, you don't like it, you can leave, dude. Now you're stuttering because you really do like it.
Right.
Okay, so this is what we can do. You don't like it?
A lot of empowerment. Like I feel like that those kind of customers, they think they are empowered
Yeah.
to just step on you and shit.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
no.
And like he takes it back. Like he wants to be more relaxed with the customer.
We'll kill them with kindness.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
That's the best thing.
That truly has gotten me further in the car business than anything, because you can be cussing me out and everything, and
you know, I applied with y'all, and I got told that I was too cocky, right?
But don't you need that?
I think, bro, because like being agreeable and shit like that, like you said, it's not gonna escalate the situation to
situation,
something
yeah.
that doesn't need to take, you know, because if you start acting like a dick and then there's a dude in there that really, like, let's say our friend Kat, there's this dude that like he will literally, bro, punch you right there. You know, he just doesn't give a fuck.
See,
Like,
everybody
crazy.
in our lot, and like you got to know who you're working with. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, like
every
I
lot
knew
is
that
different.
if I said something
Wrong?
dumb, that I would put me in a bad situation.
We got each other.
I know that if I'm the only one inside the building, to not say anything that will put me in a bad situation. But if I know Erick's there, the other guy, I just know that whatever
Shout out to Vinny.
whatever situation happens, I know Erick's gonna run in quickly. The other guy's gonna run in.
we
The
had
managers
a
were older, so they
we-
weren't gonna be the first ones.
we
in.
had a guy literally pull out a gun in the parking lot. Literally, he's like, "I'll shoot up this place." We ain't worried about it. Go ahead, try. Like we were never worried about that and everything. It's like people think we're gonna back down to them or whatever. It's like, bro, we got the car. If you're looking at a used car, you can't go find a car somewhere else. You know the reason why you're here, because this car has what you're looking for. If it's I don't know, what car would they always want? Like a Hellcat. You can't just go drive up and go buy a Hellcat somewhere else. Like it ain't. There's a dime a dozen at a used lot. You know, so it's
How
people.
do y'all deal with people that come in with just a bunch of money? Like, let's say, like in the 50 Cent movie where he's like,
You go like this. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want us to do?
So I don't give a fuck.
Does it make a difference if they pay cash than finance?
So if
It
you
does.
throw
They-
just a big ass
it does.
bag of money and then just fucking throw it.
See, you're stupid if you do that. Anything
I'm
else?
not asking you if you.
No,
No, I'm
I'm
talking.
asking you if
So
can people do that.
well, they
Yes.
do. We've had It's more of the transfer students from Asia that do it. That their parents send them money and they want to buy it cash because they don't have socials to buy it, to finance it. So they come in with backpacks full of money.
But then we got to tell them straight, because our finance department, they'll always, depending on the amount of the car, how much are we talking? Bag of money.
Say 50,000 in a
See,
fucking,
so first
like
of all,
a rapper. Some rapper.
so if they can back it up. So anything over $9,999 is gonna automatically
Get reported.
So if you're a trapper and you come in there trying to
you
flex,
have to file a
don't do it.
I think it's a W-9 on there that you're paying more than $10,000.
and then they're gonna see where your money came from. Now,
And
if you're a trapper, is that what you want?
that gets reported.
Man,
So
fucking government can't.
If you're legit,
yeah, that's fine.
if you're legit, why are you gonna do that? You're gonna write a check.
Yeah, but
No, I
if
mean,
you-
like you see rappers do that shit. Like let's say,
Yeah,
I think that's for the
That's the
for the
dumb ones, I
YouTube
think.
video,
That's the
bro.
dumb
I
ones.
think that's for the YouTube video.
The fake shit.
That's
huh?
the YouTube.
It's illegal to carry over 10 grand. If a cop pulls you over, they can literally seize that until you prove that, and they don't have to give you that money back.
damn, Boosie be riding around.
yeah, so I mean,
It's a flex.
It's a flex.
It's a
I don't
flex.
even know if it's safe to carry that much money around, man. I mean,
You're just asking
I
to
mean,
get
look
robbed.
what's happened. What happened to
Yeah.
No,
they took a bag full of money, bro. Like it had like I don't know. I want to say 50
bag,
grand.
jewelry,
Yeah.
everything. Like
what's his name? The guy that died.
Excess.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm
is
saying.
that his name?
Yeah.
Testacion,
All
yeah.
they do is outside of bike dealers.
But how much money? He had
a
cash.
shit. He had a shit ton. Like I want to say 50,000.
Like for the most part, when
See
the
what
customer
happens?
comes in and you try to convince them to finance, because it's a depreciating asset. The cars are meant to break. Cars are meant to devalue. Like classic cars went up because they're old. Everybody wants them. Like when it's a new F-150, they're not going to go up in value. They're going to
come
go
down.
down.
Yeah, as soon as you drive it off the lot.
Yeah. So
20%,
why
it
would
loses
you
20.
drop 50 grand cash when you're instantly losing that money? Why wouldn't you finance it at a low rate? Use somebody else's money, keep your money in the bank, and then if you want to pay it off within a year or within 3 months, you have that ability, but you don't use your money instantly.
Right.
You can use it for backup money, emergency money, whatever you want to use it for. But you're using.
So you
somebody
recommend to
else's money.
finance it even if you have the cash.
Hold on.
Always.
That's the dealership in him talking though. That's the thing. Like that's the thing. They want you to finance too because the dealership gets paid. The bank pays them whenever they finance. Whenever they purchase that loan, that they're gonna get a kickback from signing you up at the dealership too.
You might get my homie fired over here, bro. Chill out.
I mean, it's the car business. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, bro. Like they get their money. I mean, it ain't coming out of your pocket, so it don't matter. You know, it's not coming out of the consumer pocket. It's coming out from the bank.
Right.
But at the same time, only 5 to 10% of people can truly buy a car cash
True that.
on there.
Yeah,
It's not
'cause
like
your average American lives paycheck to paycheck,
Paycheck.
so it's a big percentage.
I wonder
you
what
know?
like Warren Buffett is doing, like how he's buying cars.
Bro, honestly, like all these other people,
You know that one?
Yeah, he actually had the Lincoln. He drove a Lincoln Town Car for pretty much most of his adult life. He recently bought a Cadillac, and the Cadillac is only $45,000.
but see, check it out. If you see all these like Porsches, BMWs, like all these high end cars, even Lamborghinis and stuff, they lease them, bro. They're not buying them. Those people you won't see them in the same car in 3 years. They're in different cars. So they're leasing those cars. Those are people that are okay not ever owning a car. They know that they're going to, what's a lease, right?
No, yeah, but like what would be the benefit of the lease? Is it
So it's
They can-
like,
they can
okay,
drive
so
whatever
like
they
him.
want, like-
every year they can just change to a new car?
not every year. So you can do
Every 3 years.
every 3 years, every 5 years. You never own the car. You're just paying. It's cheaper than a
you're
car
renting
payment.
the car out for a certain amount of miles per year. So you can do
So
like
the
10,
benefit
12,
is just
15.
to keep being on a new car every 3 years.
every
Yeah.
3 years. And that's what people do now. Like people will buy a car and within 2
they-
to 3 years,
Like
they're tired of it.
tired of that
want
So
car.
they
another
they turn the car in.
So-
and do you guys lease it to another person?
No.
So check this
then
out. Hold
how
on.
does that
Hold
work?
on. So whenever you turn in that lease,
God damn, but
so
that's
you know every car it loses value, right? So whenever you pay those monthly payments, $400, $400 every month for the 3 years. You never own the car. Those 3
Right.
years are over. You turn it in. You don't get stuck with the upside down. You're not upside down. It ain't your car. So you just turn it in. Now, if the car went down in value, who gives a fuck? I don't own the car. Here you go. Here's your keys. I'm gonna go lease another
so
car.
everybody makes money off of it, like the dealership, the bank, whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on there. That too. But if the car is worth more than what you could trade it in.
So do your
then take the
typical like consumer, do they drive it 0 miles out the lot to lease it, or is it like
At least it's always going to be on a brand new car. On a brand new car.
God damn! So like, as soon as they're done with the 3 years, you guys just put that as a used car to sell it. You guys don't lease it again.
Yep. Correct. Nope.
God.
So
damn.
if you look
that's crazy.
I bought a Mercedes and it was leased. I bought it in Dallas. If you look at Dallas, bro, they have so much money in Dallas. Everybody's leasing cars over there and everything. So exactly. And you can find cars that only had 20,000 miles on it, 30,000 miles on it. And they gotta keep it at a certain mileage. If they go over the miles, they get paid.
Miles.
They gotta pay for per mile that they used on that car.
When
extra,
you lease it.
Extra.
So the 3 years they have a certain amount you have.
You say I'm just gonna drive 10,000 miles a year. All right, if he comes in with 33,000, you're gonna pay 3,000 miles.
So what if you hit the 30,000 and your lease is about to be up
So
in 2 months? You can trade it in at that time?
So you can do it early trade in. Yeah, you can turn it in early. There's gonna be a little penalty or whatever, but it ain't gonna be that big or whatever. But yeah.
Interesting. I don't.
Now you're thinking about a lease, huh?
No. I don't think, because it's just like throwing the money away if you think about it.
It is, but it's those people that no matter what, in 2 to 3
If
years.
I have money like that, then yes, maybe I'll think about it. But
And
it's like,
if it's a business run, like if you buy your car for under the podcast per se, and you lease it for 12 months, you write it off the full amount.
Complete.
So you don't lose that. In the 3 years that you paid your car, it was free to you because you wrote it off in your taxes.
so I get it back on the. Saul, you should be my accountant, man. God damn, man.
So like it's smart.
Yeah.
Because they never own the car. They don't care to own the car. They just who was it?
I just want to shoot a music video in it.
Damn.
Y'all watch Logan and them? Mike
Logan Paul?
Yeah.
He just knocked
That was Jake
it.
Paul. That was Jake Paul. That's the other brother, bro.
That's the brother.
That's the brother. He knocked the hell out of Nate Robinson. Anyway,
Man, we'll talk about that later.
y'all all know who Lana Rose is, right?
Who?
Lana Rose.
Oh yeah.
He took too long to answer that.
Oh wait, yeah.
I'm gonna get you
Little
caught
cherry
up.
in the butt.
I'm gonna get you caught up right now.
Hey, nah.
No. So
She
everybody, they started giving her shit because Mike, her boyfriend,
Yeah.
was saying she just bought this Lamborghini. And then they found out that she leased it. So they're like, oh, she's not even the owner of that car. I mean, she owns it for the next 3 years, motherfucker. Yeah, she does own that car. She's
Yeah.
making the payments.
Right.
So
people are so quick, man.
Quick to
I'm
judge.
telling
So
you,
quick.
like, wow, it's crazy.
So like those high-end cars that you see people in, if you see them in a new one in 3 years, it was leased.
yeah, he paid his shit.
Shit. And high-end cars like that, they take hits, big hits whenever they buy those cars. I don't want to take that loss.
Have you guys seen what Volvo's doing too? Volvo,
Man, ain't nobody worried about Volvo.
the maintenance is rolled into it, and your insurance is rolled into your.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
The monthly payments.
Maintenance is
Yeah.
maintenance.
Make your monthly payments taken care of. For the
Yeah, we'll add that
That's
too.
nice.
On the lease, all
Yeah.
your maintenance is done.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you literally every time you hit 3,000 miles, 5,000 miles, whatever their miles is, it tells you got to do it in.
Good.
You just take it up to the dealership, show them, tell them that it's
Yeah.
under a lease. They find it by the VIN number that it's under
Yeah.
a lease, and it's the bank that's doing the lease because
Yeah.
it's their car.
Yeah, man, that half court LLC sounding nice right now. Shit. Damn, I definitely want to hire an accountant so they can.
And not only
put us
that
in
though,
game, bro.
even if you're
It's a
gonna
lot.
even if you're purchasing a car, and if you own an LLC, you get a discount too. So
They're being small
Mike.
business owners.
Small
They got
business
small
owner.
business owner
Yeah.
So what
rebates out
made
there.
you want to get out of the car sales?
I have.
Seems like you
So
know
I
a
got
lot
in.
about it.
I got in whenever I was 19 years old. I love cars. That's my passion. I mean, that's how me and Saw got really close, was off of cars and everything. I love cars, and I like talking to people. I was serving tables too, and I mean, I graduated from Grant, and as soon as I got out of there, I mean, I was installing garage doors. I was detailing cars. Like, I didn't have a future type, and school ain't for me. I was like last in my class type shit, and I didn't like school. Got into the car business whenever he told me about it and everything. And I like talking. I mean, that's one thing I told my dad. I was like, hey, remember all those times that you would bitch at me when my teachers would call you and tell you, hey, he won't shut up in class. Now I get paid to talk. That is, I mean, I have a mouthpiece on me, so
Yeah.
it's like I'll talk all day and everything. And my dad would just laugh about it now. But yeah, I got out of it, I have a 6-year-old son. When I first got in the car business, he was just born. And it's like now he was FaceTiming me talking about, Dad, I just got out of MMA class. He's like, I learned all this, and I'm sitting in my office at work.
Trying to make calls and get sales and shit. See, that's another thing too. It's like time consuming because you got to be there sometimes from open to close.
Saturdays was from 8 to 9, 13-hour shift.
So you were just missing a lot of
missing a lot of time.
Do you have kids, bro?
Yeah, I have one now.
One on the way. And it's like, but me, I was ready for the next step in the car business. It's like either you move me up or I'm done.
What was the next step?
Management, either finance or I was bored, and it got too easy for me. I'm one of those people that once I master something,
like,
I want something new. Like I'm ready for the next step. I like a challenge. I don't like just sitting back and shit.
Comfort zone type shit.
Exactly.
So we worked for a corporation, so it was one of those where if you weren't in that circle, you weren't moving up.
Bro, if you walk through all those dealerships in that corporate, what would you think percentage wise of what race is what?
White.
100%. But like 2% will be either Asian or Middle Eastern. So it's like, where's my step at? Where am I going to? He had to leave. He had to leave the company to move up, to get the next step. I left the company too, but I didn't like the drive. So I went right back to the company, to the same company. I followed him for a month, kind of used him for a vacation actually, because I went to California. I lost like a whole week, and I was like, hey, if I go over there, I still got to get my vacation time and all this. They're like, yeah. But I left there after a month and went right back because I wasn't driving to Stillwater. I live in Edmond, and we're not going to – he drives to Stillwater, but they gave him a car from the dealership. They gave him all the stuff.
So every day you have to drive up there?
He did.
I did for a year. And then we got promoted to the city, which is – so we're in Stillwater, and that dealership went
expanded.
From – it's a small dealership. It was when we went out there, when I got asked to go out there by the manager, they were selling 50 to 75 cars. By the time we were leaving, we were selling 150 to 175 cars before we left on there. So the ownership of the dealership, they have like 8, 9 different dealerships, and they're like, hey, this is our biggest store. This is our baby. Like, we take care of it. It's not doing good. They're in the city, and they're only selling 100 cars. We come down to the city, take it from selling 90 cars to 100 to 200. And it's just one of those who were...
And you're a manager now? Like you're basically...
When he left, he left to be a manager, and then they got moved.
We got transferred over. So all our management from this store got transferred over here. So they had to fill in new people. A couple people
So what
stayed
would be
in
your
there.
next step after management?
So I'm in the internet. So from the internet, it'd be the finance department on there. So learning finance, and then from finance, it's when you move to the front desk to where you talk to the customers and work the numbers, because you have to know a little bit about finance
credit
to be able to know what kind of interest rates people qualify for when you look at their credit.
Cool. So like the dudes that are in the other little room, like let's say you have a question and then you go into the other dudes.
When they leave, when the salesman leaves,
like, who are those dudes?
Those are the sales managers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people come to you like that.
No.
So yes and no, because since I sold cars for so long, if the other managers are busy, they'll call me down and go and do
like
that.
if somebody's stuck and they can't really get anywhere, you do come in.
Yeah, I can. I have the capability to, but I don't. We have enough people to do it to where I don't have to get taken away from making all these phone calls and scheduling appointments to where.
But he has a team, though. He also has a team.
And then I have four to five people under me that are making calls,
calling,
and stuff.
blowing
and then
people
I have
up.
A partner. So it's two of us up there making sure that we set the example of what needs to be done so they can do it and do what we have to do. And
to get all those appointments.
We have to, my dealership, we have to get at least 600 appointments is like the goal month in, month out, because we live by a 50-50 rule. So we set 600 appointments.
50% of them is going to buy.
Show, which would be 300, and 50% of those are going to sell. So it would be 150.
How many phone calls a day are you making?
Depends on what all I have to do personally, but average anywhere from 50 to 115 calls a day. That includes sending out emails for each one of those, and then conversating back and forth through email, sending text messages, and conversating back and forth through that.
How the fuck do you get all those leads to be able to call 100 people a day?
That's a lot.
And then so the
That's a
leads that
lot.
come through. So like here in the city, like we have people from
Especially with all these
California,
dealerships. There's
New
a
York.
shit ton of
Yeah.
dealerships around here, man.
So
It's
that's
ridiculous.
the thing. Like
Every dealership
we've had,
sells.
when people from out of state call and they're like, "Hey, can you discount the vehicle more?" And you're calling me because I have the only one in the color, and you're calling from New York, and you haven't found one within 6 states from you.
So how does that work? They buy it from New York. You guys ship it to them?
Yeah, ship it. So I mean, it's not free, so they have to pay for their own shipping, or they shop around. and
It
get
gets
the
expensive.
on there.
I
So
had a
like right now
company-
with COVID, shipping is crazy expensive because no one wants to go back up to New York. Any shipping normally starts from New York and goes to Cali on there. So when the shipping companies have to go back that way, they tend to charge more. But with COVID, like they double their rates.
Oh God.
So it's crazy expensive. So people are just like.
I'm just
like,
gonna
dude,
move out of this motherfucker.
I was like, dude, you can buy a flight from New York, Chicago, and fly down here for $200. Like, why
And
would
then-
you pay
and then just
$2,000?
drive it back.
Drive it back, yeah.
But then you're gonna put all the miles on
Yeah,
it
that's
in your
another
truck.
one too. Man, it's all that shit is crazy, man. It's like I said, like with all these dealerships, because if you go down Norman, the I-35
the
there,
mile
and then you go to
cars.
240, there's another one, and then you go all the expressway,
Man,
Edmond, like
Look at it this way, bro. Like, I don't even know what the population of Oklahoma would be or whatever, but
About 1 million.
every dealership is at least selling anywhere from 100 to 200 cars a month. That's
Any
That's every bigger dealership. I don't know about those little
Yeah.
39th Street
Yeah.
dealerships. I don't know about those.
man, fuck them niggas.
What would be some advice to a young motherfuckers out there looking for a car right now?
First car or already purchased a car?
First car. Know what you're looking for.
Know
in
your
a
limit.
car.
Know your limit.
Okay, let him. And
Okay,
then you
okay.
know.
Know what you're looking for in a car, so when you are shopping, you know exactly a breakdown of what you're looking for, so you're not like starting from scratch and not know exactly what.
And
you're
then they
looking
won't
for.
sell you on the extra bullshit
Correct.
you don't need. Like find the features you do need, and then that way
you're
you
okay
can just
with.
go and not get oversold by the extra like heated seats, heated steering wheel. If you don't need that shit, then cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's a good one.
So try to make sure you know exactly what you're looking for in a car, and if you can afford to buy extra stuff, then go there.
I would say don't do it for the gram, first of all.
Yeah.
But like be reasonable with what you got. Don't, I got this coming in. I think I got this coming in. Nah, it ain't. You know this is what's coming in monthly. You know this is what I need and everything. Not, man, this would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice if it fell into my budget. Don't overdo it just because you think you're gonna look cool.
And the
Like,
dopamine, the time of buying it is crazy because you're like, damn, I got this brand
and
new car.
do your
Picture
research.
yourself in that motherfucker.
Do your
Yeah.
research.
But when
like,
you get the bill and you see the payments that you have to make, then that's when you get the stress. Like, fuck,
Like-
what did I do? Type shit. So that's a
You start
big.
hating that fucking car.
It's a big decision, you know.
See,
it's,
like I helped my sister-in-law get her car or whatever. I was working at the dealership, and then like I asked her like, "What are you wanting? What do you need in a car?" And she told me and everything. I'm like, "All right, cool." And I found her a Toyota Corolla Camry. Is it
Camry, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
driving a Camry.
big size.
And she's all like, "Yeah, that will do," or whatever. Took pictures of it, sent it to her. She's like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then she's all like, and we got into how much she could afford and everything. And it's like, I mean, you really won't. She's like, "I can put this much down." It's like, you won't need all that. And then I sent her. I was like, "You're not gonna do the first time buyer through the dealership." I sent her straight to the bank to do the first time buyer at the bank and everything.
I'd rather do the bank. That's
Yeah.
just me.
Yes and no.
So
There's
the thing with that is always at the dealership we will encourage you to finance with us, but at the same time, if you say, "Hey, your rate's not good," okay, bring me a check.
Right.
At the end of the day, we want to sell the car. We're not going to sit there and like, "Oh, if you're not financing with me, we won't sell
Well,
you the
yeah,
car."
man, I've been to a couple that they are dying. Like, why would you finance through us? I'll get you some low rates. And I'm like, bro,
Yeah, no.
the bank is guaranteeing me the lowest, like 3.2. Can you
See,
beat that?
Okay, and if they say yeah,
Then let's give it a shot.
Yeah,
right. So now they got to pull your credit.
Now I'm fucked because now the bank already did it. Say, hey,
Now you're gonna have
3.2.
another. So yeah, check it
now I'm
out.
gonna
Check
get
it out.
another ding.
Check it out. You're gonna get another inquiry on your credit. You let the dealership run it. The dealership thing. What I hated, bro. Like whenever my friends would go up there and stuff like that, and if either like I would hate for it to happen to me. Which it did happen whenever I bought a car. Whenever I bought a brand new car when we were 18 years old, me and my wife, we had a bookie ass Nissan Altima that fucked up on us. We went to David Stanley, and I learned the David Stanley experience or whatever.
So does David Stanley really lead the way?
They did.
Well, they lead the way because they sell the most cars. Like
Oh,
their advertising works.
no. That ain't what he's talking about. But yeah, they led me the right way, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But so yeah, then I got into a car. Whenever I went up there, man, all these inquiries on my credit after that. God damn, they send it to like 6-7 different banks. At the end of the day, though, it realizes, oh, you're making a big purchase. It all falls into one. And it really isn't going to hurt your credit that bad.
So it doesn't hurt it that much?
It doesn't, no. So whenever people say like, oh, all these inquiries, they're going to inquiry on your fucking credit or whatever, but then it's all going to fall into one and it'll be over.
Okay, that makes more sense. There's let me let Saul hop on the mic, AV, real quick, because Saul got some dirty shit to say, man. That I think is pretty interesting,
You want
too.
to talk about buy here, pay here lots?
Yeah, let him know, man. Let him know.
Hey, lot. So
Yeah, get a little closer to the mic, bro.
all right. So basically, what I found out is that Bob Moore, and I'm gonna put him on the spot. Bob Moore essentially started their whole empire off of buy here, pay here type businesses. They started Eldorado Motors. They were here. They were pretty much one of the first big dealers that offered that buy here, pay here scheme. And essentially, they had a store on the south side where the DMV is. They had another one on the north side of May as well, and they had one in Tulsa. But those three dealers pulled in more cash than all their new dealers today combined. And I mean, if you looked at the dealers, they didn't look like much. They were just like your average 39th Street dealers, but they were massive amount of cars, and they were moving them.
So at that time, there was also a dealership called Don Hickey's or something like that. That lot, literally, they had a manager at the front gate. Like when you drove into the dealership, it had those spikes that when you drive through it, the spikes come up after, so you can't back out. If not, you're gonna get flat tires. And then you got to drive through all the way around. And to get out, there was a station, bro, where there's a manager that, hey, what is it that you're looking for? And you can't leave until he hits the button for the spikes to go down. Like the used car, like the buy here, pay here lot shit in the back in the day, that's where the car business got the bad rep.
That bad rep. They throw your keys on top of the roof until you go get them.
All right, here, go get them since you want to waste our time.
Damn, that's crazy. They had a little mafia motherfucker.
But yeah, like the buy here, pay here law, I mean, like if you can avoid it, I would recommend to avoid it. I understand some people are not credit wise and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, you need a car. Right. So if that's what you got to do, you got to do.
A lot of people are not educated.
Exactly.
Like, when you turn 18, like if you go back to like schooling,
if you're 18,
they don't teach you
none
of that.
So you turn 18, you're like, okay, I need a car. I need to get my first job. What do? First place it goes, 39th Street.
Right.
And then as Hispanics, our parents don't know.
or parents don't teach us this stuff, man. Like that's the thing. They don't teach us this in school. And us being Hispanics, we're already lower than that, man. Because you see all the white kids, they pull up to the brand new lots. You don't see them pull up to 39s. You don't see them do all that. Us as Hispanics, like, man, we need to go somewhere like that's going to accept us. One thing I would tell every kid that's 18 years old, right out of high school and stuff like that, no credit is better than bad credit. You can get approved having no credit. Once you have bad credit, that's a whole different ball game with the banks and everything.
Man.
But no credit, go to a brand new dealership. Don't waste your time going to those buy here, pay here lots. You got a better chance.
Cover that.
So
how the industry works. So let me touch on that. So basically, the way it works is they'll give a car to anybody. You basically just have to have a driver's license. Sometimes you don't even have to have a driver's license. A lot of Hispanics that are here, not in,
How do you get away with that?
Sometimes you got to have a matricula or your international license.
It's your name. If you bring something from another country
With your picture on it,
you got
boom.
The
So you can
basic
get-
goal for these dealers is to give you the car in your hands and for you to put a down payment. You put $1,000 down, $2,000 down, whatever you put down, essentially is cash in their pocket. Then they give you the car and they put a tracker on it because they know that you're not going to be able to pay for that car. In fact, they count on the fact that you won't be able to pay.
They want to repo that car.
Yeah, they want to repo that car because the moment you can't make that car payment, they can track the car, they go grab the car, and then they turn around and then write it off at the end of the year in taxes. So that full $10,000 that you got this car for, now it's written off. So it's 100% liquid profit for them in their books.
So what they're gonna do?
So in that case, because you guys mentioned that the down payment that It doesn't go towards.
It don't go to the salesman. It goes
But you said it goes to the dealer.
Now it's going on buy here, pay here.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Because
because
they
they're
truly
financing
own the cars. They truly own
Yeah.
their cars.
Okay, so they
They
buy
own the
them
cars
and then they
too,
sell
and
them.
So-
and what happens is when they repo this car, they write this off. They had a $10,000 asset that they get to write off at the end of the year. But as soon as they write that off, they can put it back in their lot and sell it to person B or person C, and then start all over again.
pay another
So basically-
10,000
With
to
the
it.
expectation of repoing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about that. That's a $10,000 car that they can sell over and over.
Why do you think-
and over to multiple people as long as they keep repoing these cars?
Why do you think most of those dealerships do their own maintenance too? Like, hey, just bring it here. We'll get you some oil changes. Just keep on bringing it back for the lifetime that you have the car with us. You get free oil changes until you pay it off
What's the purpose of that?
because they want to maintain their car. You don't want your car to be good whenever you repo it back from them.
Huh.
That's basically it.
And if something-
think
if something-
about it like that, is it more profit to make a $5,000 to $10,000 profit margin on a brand new car, or have a buy here, pay here,
And keep on making money.
cash in on this $10,000 car,
Same car over and over.
Same car. That same car that's only worth $10,000.
You just
I
make
sell it to you.
$40,000.
I sell it to you. I sell it to you. Each one of y'all paid $10,000. That's $30,000 on a $10,000 car.
plus the payments and plus the down payment.
Yeah.
Like lease, what is it? Or lease for sale in houses? Like that's basically.
That's the
Rent
same
to
thing.
own?
Rent to
Rent to
own.
own, yeah.
Rent to own. Rent to own houses. Same thing.
Basically the same thing. Because a lot of people are like,
So that's the same.
It's the
kinda-
same concept, bro. It's like
They expect you
I give you a fat down payment, right? Like they're always like $5,000 down, and then you pay me $1,000 a month on a house. Boom, 5,000, and I live at the house 2 years, let's say. Shit got hard or something. Something happened in the house. You know, something happened that
and then
you
you
can't
gotta
afford.
fix it too. So
And you gotta pay
if-
for the maintenance
if
on
you
those
can't afford to
houses.
fix it, you're like, well, fuck it, I can't afford to fix it. Let me just move out.
Damn.
Have the
Now-
guy, that,
now
have
you
the guy
just-
that owns it come fix it.
Yeah, but that's basically how Bob Moore started, and then they created their cash bank basically, and then they cleaned up their names.
So then, to add on to that, so the way that the dealerships thing started is Bob Moore. Everybody knows the two Bobs, Bob Moore and Bob Howard. Bob Moore was in the business first. Bob Howard actually started from nothing. He was a lot porter. He's the one that parks the cars at the dealership and everything, bro. And then he ended up moving up in the business, moving up. Ended up getting a loan from Bob Moore. Hey, I want to start my own little buy here, pay here lot and everything. So then he started his own little dealership, moved up, and that's what you see in Edmond now. All those Bob Howards and everything. He don't own it no more.
He owns the land.
He owns the land. So he's smart. He owns those properties. So
They pay him rent.
they pay him rent. So it's actually owned by a Fortune 500 company. All that down there, they own over how many dealerships?
It's over 1,100 dealerships.
Yeah,
Worldwide. Worldwide.
Yeah, and so they pay him rent still. He only owns like the Mercedes dealership and the Volvo dealership and everything. But yeah, that's how the Bobs are. They hate each other though. But Bob Moore died. But Bob Howard hated that dude, and that's why you see anywhere where there's a Bob Howard, Bob Moore would win. That's why you see over there in Edmond.
Yeah.
Bob Moore is down the street, like literally on the same strip. He went and bought that piece of land just to go put his name right there with them.
That's petty shit. That's on some McDonald's and Burger
Not
King
only that
petty
though,
shit.
if you see, is Bob Howard owns like more of your like your regular cars, and he went and put his Audi dealership, Jaguar, Maserati.
Subaru.
Like the Subaru, Infinity, like all his like higher end stuff over there,
Shit.
just to fuck with them. It's like
That's crazy. Damn, that's a very crazy shit. Is that still happening? As far as the
Bob Howard last time. I mean, I know stories about Bob Howard, bro. Like he's savage. I heard that one time a manager showed up late, and he showed up before the manager and pulled into the parking lot, and all the salesmen were outside, like, "Hey, what's going on?" It's like, well, the manager ain't pulled up yet, and the doors are still locked. He went and grabbed something, bro, threw it through the door, busted it, unlocked it, and was like, all right, y'all can go in. When the manager showed up, he's like, hey, that's coming out of your check. You should have been here on time. Like the car business with them dudes,
savages,
savage, bro.
they're heartless as fuck.
For
Like,
sure.
you were there for what, a week?
Yep, dip the fuck out.
Which one?
Like 240?
Okay.
This shit is for me.
Man, see, I experienced, this was after I was already in the car business for like 2 years. So I kind of already knew what I was doing and everything. Then one of my buddies, like, I me and him both said, like, we hate selling to friends. Friends or family, bro.
That's me. I don't know why. Like, I don't push. I just don't.
They don't trust you.
When I walked in there, I said, what you going to sell me? He's like, I don't know. What do you want? That's
Yeah.
all he says.
I don't like it. Like, if you want it, you get it. All right, cool. I'm not gonna pressure you. It's just not me.
You want to know? Okay, then.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like every time we're friends or family or somebody would come in and everything, they're like, they want a deal. I'm like, all right, this is the price. Oh, bro, you can't get it cheaper? No. How much cheaper do you want? Like at least 2 more thousand off or something. Like, nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta eat still too. You know, it's like,
right.
It's across every type of. So say you have a business and your friends are
It's
always
the
gonna be
same
like, hey,
thing.
so you gonna hook me up with half off or what?
you know, hit me half off with this.
So like, and then they'll go play full retail at
But they're gonna
Target or something, and they don't ask them for discounts
Right.
on there. So why wouldn't you help your friend that this is only his job, his business on there? Because as a salesman, you're
It's
pretty much
practically your own
self-employed,
business.
because if you don't work with a customer, if you don't sell the car, you don't get paid.
I think it goes back to the mentality of the education, because a lot of people go to their 9 to 5 and they understand they get a paycheck every 2 weeks. They don't understand how
We get paid, yeah.
How you have to work for a living. Like you don't sell a car, you don't eat. You know what I mean? They don't have that mentality, so they don't connect with you in that level.
And I can't wrap my head around the hourly shit. Like literally, if I'm getting paid 12, let's say just the average person, 12. Like really, I spent an hour and I only got 12. Like I just that
waste
doesn't.
my time.
Or like us, like there'll be times. I mean, I'll tell you straight up. There's times that I can spend an hour with you selling you a car, and I literally just made $3,000 off of you, bro. And it is what it. But then there's those customers that I spent
6 hours
with
and only made
$200, bro. So it's like I'm gonna get it where I can,
Right.
And if it's you, whoever it is, I'm gonna get my money.
And to be honest, like the mentality when it comes to selling a friend or family, if you can't make money off your friend and family, who are you gonna make money off?
Yeah, like that's one thing they taught us. Like it's our manager would always tell us, like if you can't make money off your friends or family, what are you doing here? Which I mean,
Because your friends and family
you're too scared
should
to
like you enough to where they're gonna pay
what you say.
what you sell them on there, instead of asking you for 50% off,
Right.
75% off.
Like
But then
support shit.
that comes back to how were you raised and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like it made it harder for me because I want to help my homeboys, I want to help my friends, I want to help everybody, but at the same time I got to feed my son, I got to feed my wife and everything, you know. So it's like that's why I would tell him like, hey, I got so and so, he don't know him, so I'm gonna pass him on to somebody else in the lot, or something.
So the good part about us being in the car business, none of our personal family lives there. It's just our immediate family that live here. So we're pretty much just selling to our friends. So it's a little easier when it's just your friend and it's not someone that you have a true bond with as a cousin.
You're gonna see him at the family reunion, this type stuff.
Yeah.
With a friend, you can be like,
Fuck me over.
Exactly.
but with a
I
friend,
have
it's a
friends
little
say
bit easier, and you'd be like, "Hey, man, like, it's business. Like, nothing against you, nothing against me. But I mean, you bought the car, and I told you everything about the car when you bought it on there. Obviously, if you don't maintain it properly or anything, you can't put that back on me.
That's one
Also the
thing.
credit too, because a lot of times they come to you for the homie discount.
It's like, bro,
But
your
then
credit's
your credit
fucked.
sucks. Like, what do you expect? Like,
Yeah,
you're not a magician.
Fuck. Yeah, that's a big one. So on my situation, what would you guys say? Because I have core within a week, and by the time this comes out, it's probably going to be 2 weeks after.
Right.
What do you guys think are my chances of winning the case? Because it's a unique case.
Right, for sure. Like I said, we were talking about it before this podcast started. It's crazy because every dealership makes you sign a as is. And you remember it now, right? That you signed that?
I believe it's somewhere there.
Yeah. So that's what they're gonna push on a lot. Hey, he signed a thing, and it's his responsibility to pre-check the vehicle whenever he came in to look at it. He could have taken it to a mechanic if he wanted to. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, so with us, at a bigger dedealership,
We allowed that.
I would recommend if you can, buy from a bigger dealership, because they truly, honestly, send it through a 125-point inspection before it gets put on the lot. If it doesn't pass that inspection, it gets sent to auction.
It gets sent to auction, which is the people that buy at the auctions are the people at 39th and 29th.
So
It's-
The cars that we send because they're fucked,
Yeah.
that's who goes and buys them.
Well, and that's the crazy part is just like, it was for my little brother once again.
How old is he?
He's 20.
20?
And when we got there to the dealership, I called the dealership in the morning and I'm like, hey, I want the Chrysler. Do you guys have it? I want to negotiate a price. He's like, yeah, somebody's planning on buying it, but if they don't buy it, I'm going to give you a call within an hour.
And they called you.
No.
Oh, they didn't?
What passes the hour and I'm like, bro, they ain't calling us. My brother was like, damn, I want that car. So I was like, let's just pull up to them. We go and pull up to them. Immediate red flag was, oh, we sent it to the auction. So in my head, I'm like, so he didn't say what he told me, which he was going to call me back.
Right.
And like, cause there are two brothers and I'm talking to the other brother at the dealership and I spoke to the other one that's at the auction.
Okay.
So I'm like, what do you guys like? And he didn't know what to say. He was like, I don't know. Like, so that automatically was a red flag. But I looked at my brother. I'm like, what is your gut telling you? Cause I'm over here like, I don't want this shit. Like, the car is not for me, obviously, but I don't want this shit. Like, it's a lot of red flags. And he was like, oh, he just fell in love with the car, period. So we end up getting it. We had to go to the auction and we picked it up over there. And it's like, everything looks nice. Everything feels nice. But we drove it to the house the next day.
Catches on fire.
Under the hood. So it's like.
See, we've had people that come in and like buy those cash cars from us and stuff like that. We had a diesel truck on his way. I forgot where he was going, but he didn't live in the city and he wrote a check for it. And on his way to where he was going, it blew up on him. He's like, I'm leaving it on the side of the road. I'm canceling that check that I paid y'all. So y'all can come pick up y'all's truck. All right, cool. No hard feelings. Cool. We'll go pick it up. We'll see what happened. That's it. At the dealership. That's all they did.
Did a check.
See, the cash, huh? See,
Yeah,
you did that money thing, the bag.
Yeah.
Let me flex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was
good luck getting it back.
Exactly. It was a lack of knowledge and like not knowing.
So that too, if you do pay cash, most of these places are like business owned, so they have to wait on their accounting to cut you a check back if the deal doesn't go through or anything. So you don't instantly get that $5,000 that you gave them cash. You get a check and you have to wait a week
for the accounting.
For them to cut you that check back, so you don't get you give them the money instantly, but you don't get your money back instantly.
Man, hopefully I have good news in the next podcast. It's gonna be quite the fight. Like I said, I'm in the mentality that it's 50-50 chance, but at least we gave it a shot. And really, if I wanted to, I could have just hired a lawyer and went balls deep.
Mm-hmm. But then that's gonna be a lot more money,
right? But I just want my money back. That's it. That's
right.
it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully. We got good news and shit, so we'll see.
Tell them what the dealer is so they don't fucking go there.
Do not go to Car
Disclaimer.
Galleria. Do not. I repeat, do not. These people are crooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's off of Western Britain, close to Lake Hefner. So don't go there. Bunch of lime cars. That's it, man. Don't go there. It's just a lot of bad reviews, a lot of bad experiences. Just don't.
I mean, that's another thing too. Pay attention to those reviews. Look them up. Look up those dealerships and everything, man.
Once again, it was all my brother, man. I didn't want to be the bad guy.
You went with your brother. So anytime I make a purchase, like I bought a brand new 19 Jeep Cherokee for my wife. He's like, dude, don't do it. Buy a fucking used one. I was like, man, she wants a new one. Let me just
we'll get into that in a minute.
And so I was like, all right, bet. And I go to be like, all right, cool, 2 years are up. I work in car business, so I know I'm going to want a new car every time that I possibly can because the newer one comes out with more options or nicer things to it. I find out I'm $8,000 upside down. I work in the car business.
And he works in the car business. And he's upside down.
So right now, I think we're on our third year.
I think so.
I'm still about $8,000 to $10,000 upside down.
Every year is going to keep on depreciating, and your payment is still the same.
On there. So as being in the car business, I didn't listen to him when I should have. And obviously I knew. I'm in the car business. I knew about it. I knew it was going to happen, but I still did it.
I tell every friend this. I tell him all the time. I would never, ever buy a brand new car in my life. Ever.
Why?
Ever.
Brand new?
Never buy a brand new car.
I would. if you've never done it in your life before,
Don't buy a brand
spoil
new car.
yourself one time. But after that, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
He sells cars. Don't listen to him.
So if I pay off my car and I end up selling it, and I want a new car off the lot,
as long as you're gonna put a big ass down payment on it,
why?
I mean that's up to you.
You're gonna lose. Like
You're gonna lose it.
You're gonna lose.
It's gonna be like you're gonna.
But
be,
like, if you want to have that experience, is what I'm saying. Like, if you want that new car, I just bought a brand new car and you've never done it before.
It
So
ain't
just
worth
stick with the
it.
used.
It goes away. That brand new smell goes away
Yeah,
after
first
30
week.
days.
you ever heard of the Dave Ramsey
Yep.
Cars for Life video? Have you ever
Dave
Yeah, I
Ramsey
think
will
you sent
save
me.
you
You sent me
how to
this.
save money.
So basically, the theory is the opposite. We're conditioned to think that we have to get the new car. We have to get a car payment every month. And what Dave Ramsey teaches you is to do the opposite. Like you save your money, buy a car cash, right? Then you take, let's say, your $300 car payment and save it up for 10 months. That's $3,000. You took your perfectly fine car that you bought cash, sell it, put that $3,000 on top, buy yourself a nicer car. Do this for
And keep
another 10
going.
months.
Keep
Then you
stacking.
get a nicer car 10 months later. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you keep doing this until you work yourself up to a nicer car that you want to have, but
You're paying them
nothing.
cash.
You're paying $300 to yourself, not the bank. You see what I'm
Uh,
saying?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Lysol. We need Lysol.
Hey,
No,
he's probably gonna be our new accountant, bud.
That's Dave Ramsey. Like, if y'all haven't listened to him, y'all should listen to him. Like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
For
I
credit
tapped
card,
in.
how to get out of
Areas too, bro.
how to get
Yeah.
out of credit card debt and all that stuff.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you.
He tells us straight up.
Poor decision. You don't pay for it.
He's like, could you have paid a cash when you bought that car? No, then why did you buy it? But yeah, it's like I would never buy a brand new car in my life because I mean it drops value real quick. My brother-in-law just bought a Jeep and he was looking at brand new ones and stuff. I'm like, bro, why are you gonna do that? I was like,
Makes
you're
sense.
literally gonna lose all this money. And I was like, Jeeps do have #1 best reselling value in the market. Jeep Wranglers at least.
Yeah.
I was like, so that one, sure, you can buy brand new, but other than that, and he's all like, well, I really want. I was like, all right, cool. And then he started looking into use, and then he figured out, oh shit, I mean, I can buy one kind of similar price or whatever, but it's still the same. I was like, yeah. So-
There's certain cars that hold their value.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Jeeps, you're talking about your Raptors.
The Raptors.
Your pretty much electric cars, Teslas hold their value. And what's the ugly Toyota?
Toyota Tacoma. The Tacomas.
Hold their value. Tundras.
Tundras.
What's the electric Toyota car?
The Prius?
The Prius.
hold their value pretty well. So
Yeah.
these cars, you could buy a used car, keep it for 3-5 years,
And still get your money
and
back.
still get your money back. So I mean, there's ways that you can be smart about
Yeah.
spending your money. Like, but see, me being a car guy, I have to take the bullet because
Yeah.
I put all this money into the car. I can't lease a car.
It's crazy. Yeah. That's
Yeah, you can't modify it.
Because
like
you can
lease
literally
it.
put fucking thousands worth of modifications.
It does
and
not
shit.
matter.
And
And
it
So-
so,
doesn't
it doesn't
matter.
matter. You won't get that money
Prime
back.
example, that
When
Porsche.
your passionate cars is different though, because that's like
Yeah.
your
But you're never gonna
Your
get
little
that
trophy
back.
type shit.
You're never getting that money back though.
craft, kinda. You know what I'm saying?
I would-
Even if you sell it privately,
Keep your stock
someone's not
parts.
gonna wanna
Keep
pay
your
for it.
stock parts and then just put it back to stock
I
if you
don't do
can.
that.
He don't. He sells
I
it.
sell it because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sell my wheels for $1,500 and I'll buy those wheels for
For
$2,000. I'm only
$500. Yeah.
And that's in my head. That's like how the math works.
But
then
now
I
when you
try
go
to
trade
sell
it in or sell it, they ain't gonna pay you extra for
I
it.
kid you not. So what is that Porsche that I had? The Cayenne Tech Art.
Yeah.
Blue Book value on that one when it was brand new was $118,000 SUV. I got a good deal on it. At the time, it Blue Book for about $50,000. I bought it for about $29,000, right? I was like, cool. I thought I did good because I was like, okay, I got a special edition car. It's got all these features. The car is fast. I mean, it had 650 horsepower.
Something like that.
And then
An SUV?
An
Yeah.
SUV.
God damn.
And then when it was time to sell it and trade it in, what did I get? $8,000 for it? Yeah. So I got $8,000 on that car. That like literally, and here's the problem with specialty cars like that. This car was older now, right? In banks, it has to be what, 5 years or newer?
5
So
years
that-
newer.
So a lot of people don't take that into account. They're like, yeah, I won that Porsche. Oh, it's $29,000 or it's $30,000. Cool. But most people don't have that kind of cash to be able to buy it. And the banks, you have to have prime credit in order to get it.
The banks protect a lot of people from making stupid decisions too, honestly.
Yeah. And it's it goes back to the dopamine and people just want to buy shit
Like,
because it's satisfying.
People
but
get mad like, why did I not get approved for that? It's like, I mean, you got to be
Thank me
subprime
later,
credit.
bro.
Like you got to have really good credit.
Fucking broke boy.
And what's the minimum requirement for leasing? Like
700. You got to be 700 credit
700 or above to be able to lease.
because they know they
Sounds
pay.
really good, but most people, how many people would you say that walk through the door in a given month have 700 or above?
Oh, it depends. That's that's an iffy.
I'd say anybody 700 and above would be about 30% of the customers that come in.
30%. So think about it. That's a huge percentage of people that have 700 or above.
Most people come in the 500-600 club.
Damn.
Shit, I've seen people
Average.
with 400 credit scores, bro, and like we got them approved. Like I'll be, bro, like how the hell did we get these people
I filed for
approved?
bankruptcy, I went to the banks and they just walked me out. They're like, yeah, you don't approve for nothing. Like literally.
How did you work around that? Because you had to file for bankruptcy.
So once you file bankruptcy, right after, nothing. They won't even look at you.
Like they won't even approve you for a
They
TV
won't-
at Best Buy
they
and
won't
shit, huh?
touch you with a
Hey, it's hard to get approved at Best Buy, bro.
For real?
Yeah, literally after
You can't buy cheese for a
And
cheeseburger.
then this was my luck. Right after filing bankruptcy, we had the ice storm.
Damn, bro.
What happened?
Should just sit down right.
They gave out on us or what?
You gotta lay off those tacos, bro.
For real.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
No,
Oh, okay.
It's the step.
It was
It was the step.
So after bankruptcy, like right
You
after.
can adjust it, bro. You can pull it. Like it has a little thing. Yeah, you
There
go.
you go.
There you go. But after bankruptcy, banks won't touch me. I actually went to my barber. My barber was like, "Hey man, I just filed bankruptcy and I need a car." So he hooked me up with a friend of his. I bought one for like $300, and I was good with that one for a little while.
Shout out to the barbers.
Yeah. For real, that's how I ended up working my way back up. But you know, filing bankruptcy is not a bad thing. I mean, it clears you up, and then 7 years later, it's off your record. It's like it never existed.
That was a long time ago for you,
Share with
though.
us, why did you have to file bankruptcy? Like, at what point were you just like, fuck it, man?
Hashtag bad relationships.
Stay single, stupid. I love that saying, bro. I love fucking Indica. He came up with that phrase. I love it, bro. I fucking love it. Every time he posts a meme that has "Stay single, stupid," it's a banger.
You were just like, man, fuck it, I'm not gonna come back from this.
Yeah, basically. After I filed bankruptcy, my ex-wife decided to, put a number on like me and maxed out all my cards. Not gonna put her in the spot, but it did do a number on me, and I just couldn't pay it. It was like $57,000 worth of stuff that she had put in there.
Fuck.
She read it up.
Yeah, you know, Saul had that American Express.
I literally had to file it, and there was no choice. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna work.
Hey,
my way out.
he
That's
got
when I
that
started
American
learning.
Express now. You got that American Express now.
But here's the thing. I'm thankful for that because, like they say,
You learned a
whenever
lot.
Life hits you harder. That's when you learn about life, right? So if it wasn't for that, I would have been like, I don't know what it would be right now. Like, no, my credit would probably be like 200 or whatever.
Like, you got
I
a
learned
fresh
a lot.
start.
Yeah, I did. I learned a lot about finances. I learned about banking. I learned about investments.
See,
that's why I know all this.
We learned, me and him, like, our parents didn't teach us any of this stuff. They didn't teach us credit. They didn't teach us any of that. And being in the car business, that taught us all this and everything. We have another brother that's in between both of us, and we're trying. He's not in the car business, never was in the car business, but we try to teach him, and he's on his way to get everything straightened away now and everything too.
But it took us a while, like
for
at
him
least
to
4 years
understand.
to get him to actually listen to us and be like, okay, you guys aren't full of shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
but like me and him, I met him whenever I was what? I don't even remember.
12, 13 years old.
12, 13 years old. And I've always hung out with people older than me and everything. And then so he went through that and everything. I
You
was
kind of
still
learned from it.
I was still in probably middle school or high school. I don't remember what grade I was in. And it's like talking to him, like whenever I have an issue or something, I always hit him up like, hey man, this is what I'm going through. And like he'll straighten me out, tell me which way to go and how to do it and everything. So like I try to mentor myself around people that have done stuff like that and everything. So
There is going to be that point where you don't know.
You need,
Yeah. But then you also don't want to talk to your parents about certain
Right,
things
right.
either. So you always have to have that one person that you can go to with
I
anything.
got two now. I got Oscar. Shout out to Oscar, and he's younger than me. That's the crazy part. But his credit is A1, so I gotta learn from him.
that's the thing too. Like I'm only 24 years old. And then whenever I start talking to people, they're like, man, why are you talking like you're much older than what you, and he's like, you look,
It's a matter of being humble enough to say, I need help, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
100%.
Even if I'm 33 years old, if this 16, I mean, just look at it. When you go on tutorials, it's a fucking 14-year-old teaching you how to edit a video.
It's like, but it's like I'm able to help other people that are older than me because I've grew up around people older
Yeah.
than me and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and I always surrounded myself around people older and everything. So it's like I carry myself with like a 40-year-old head or something.
Yeah.
And it's like
you got to. You got to.
Like he was saying, is education is a big part of it. Like I think we are.
our school system's fucked.
Yeah, our school system is messed up. They don't teach you any of this. Like it took me a bankruptcy to be able to learn about finances and investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took him.
It took me,
A bankruptcy and a fucking divorce, basically. That's
Yeah, it took me a couple of student loans and a Walmart credit card to learn the shit and get my
Yeah.
credit back up. Because when I got here 6 years ago, my shit was at 500. So it was terrible. Like getting rejected at places felt like shit. Like what?
Yeah.
And then now it's like I go anywhere, I can get approved for anything.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
It's like that
shit right there.
satisfaction,
Yeah.
man.
What do y'all think about mortgages? Are mortgages smart to like?
See, I don't know much about that, so I wouldn't even get into the mortgage.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
trying
lot
to
of
learn
debt.
right now because I want to buy a house and everything. So that's my next step. Me and my family and everything. That's our next step. So I start educating myself on the stuff before I go and do the thing.
The big purchase,
the big
'cause that's-
purchases.
that's
yeah,
the biggest purchase.
And it's like,
Or he lets me mess up first and then learns. from
or
me.
I let other people mess up. Like I will never be that dummy like to go and fuck up
Yeah,
first. And
yeah.
I ask people like, how did you do it, bro? Like I'm not scared to ask you. Like if I see you like doing this and I want to do this, hey, bro, how did you do this? And it's like
Yeah.
I'm not
The
scared.
worst that could happen is him not telling me.
Yeah,
Right.
worst case scenario, I'm gonna be like, oh, he's a bitch.
Here's
You know?
something else we granted to is YouTube. Like when I was growing up,
Hey,
we didn't
YouTube
have-
has
we didn't have
everything.
internet at
What are
all.
your thoughts on the mortgage?
Mortgage?
Yeah, should we, as a young motherfucker, should you?
Yeah, I mean,
off top get a house or
Buying a house should always be a priority because it's the single most important thing that will create wealth for anybody because it's an appreciating asset.
That one appreciates,
Yeah,
not
you buy a
depreciates like a
house
car.
and it doesn't matter how long you hang on to it, it's always going to go up. It's never going to go down. So, like, if you think about it historically, when like African Americans created wealth is through buying a house when they were able to buy houses. Whenever Hispanics moved to the U.S. and then they started going, the racism kind of went away and they started building mortgages. If you look historically, it's always been the people that have been involved in real estate, buying a house or buying properties. Trump.
Hey, maybe
that's how you get.
maybe someone that's in real estate can come up on this podcast next.
yeah.
Who's a real estate out there?
Well, the thing I saw too, there was a video out there of a guy that was exposing these houses. They are making these houses like it looks cheap, like they're using this cheap wood to make a $200,000 house, where it feels like if like even a strong wind can like knock that shit out. That's how, man, it's crazy. Like he really like went to a neighborhood that was under construction and went inside and like this is the shit y'all selling for 200,000. Like what? So they're making them soft. They're like,
They don't build them like back in the motherland.
yeah. Oh no. We're talking about cement blocks on top of blocks and like neon fucking
Like,
tornado.
that's what I tell my wife.
Knock that shit out.
My wife wants that like brand new house and everything. I'm like, man, fuck that. I like to build shit. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, buy something that has the square foot that
And
I
then you
want,
build it the way
and
you
then
want it.
I'll make that bitch into my bitch. Like
Yeah.
I'll make it the way I want it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Back to the Grand Cardone thing. That's one thing that people were getting at him. That he said, like he would always say, never buy a house. Like
See,
rent, rent,
Yeah.
and try to go buy a bunch of apartments and shit.
see,
Yeah, but
that,
he's building wealth.
Yeah.
You're talking about for your average person that to be able to build something.
some people don't care about having multiple incomes. They don't care about that. They're just okay having their house, their job, and then they're gonna die. I mean, that's it.
Settle for
So some of us, we want more things. We want, I mean, like this, y'all don't need to do this, but y'all do it because y'all want it, right? And the income comes in and everything from that. And it's like, I want rental properties. I want to move into that.
You want to be financially free.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Stable,
I guess
yeah.
for the person that's doing that, it would be better not to get a house.
For the average person to own a house, it's always going to be a good financial asset because think about it. If, let's say you get yourself into financial trouble, you need cash. You could always go to the bank and borrow against your equity in your house. So you will always it's be in your own personal bank per se.
See,
You could
like-
always borrow. You could always refinance it. You could always sell it. So it's always going to be an asset that you have. You're liquid too. Whenever you go get a loan, when you have a house and you have a house payment, you're more worth than somebody that just has a car payment.
Like what me and my wife are talking about, I was like, I don't have the capital to just go buy a house, like even a rundown house type stuff. I told her, I was like, maybe we finance that house and everything, sometimes they put a stipulation that you got to live in there for a little bit. I was like, cool, we'll live in it for a little bit, whatever we have to do. And then we'll move out and we'll rent. And then we'll rent that house out and let it get paid off by someone else. I'm okay keep on renting, but at least I'm gonna have that one get paid off. Because where I'm living at now, where I rent, if anything happens at the house, I'm gonna call the landlord. Hey, this messed up. Come fix it. Something happens at my house, then I gotta go fix it. But guess what? He's gonna be paying off that house for me, and then it's gonna be paid off. Then I'm gonna go get another loan for another house, and then keep going. I'm renting the whole time from somebody else, not from my own self. And then
now you could have your own little apartment downtown.
Yeah.
And shit,
Yeah.
where you own all these fucking.
And
Yeah.
here's another thing too: the
Yeah.
laws.
so why wouldn't you? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you never got to worry about fixing your house because the one that you live in, you just call somebody and you just fix everything else that's making you money.
Yep. And another thing that I was saying is the laws are designed to be able to cater to business owners that own property to be able to build wealth. So, like for example, I don't know if I remember telling you this. I saw somewhere I was doing research on this on how to buy an entire, because the townhomes that I lived, they were for sale for a little while. They were for sale for like $1 million or something like that. And I thought about it. I even told my friends, I was like, maybe we should buy it. And I was looking into
For one house or for the whole?
for the whole
neighborhood.
strip.
The whole block.
Like you buy the
1
whole
mil?
strip.
That wouldn't be bad. That's a nice
But
neighborhood.
you don't-
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And it's
It's
growing.
modern as fuck.
And it's
Yeah.
growing.
So here's the thing: if you buy a commercial loan, your percentage, your points, kind of like in the car industry, are a lot higher. But if you do it as a consumer, it's a lot lower, and you have to live in it for
X amount,
X
yeah.
amount of time. But here's the thing: you're buying 5-6 townhouses, and you're living on one, but everybody's making your payment.
See, that's the other thing I saw on TikTok. This guy said, I bought a duplex. You know, duplex, you buy the whole thing or you can buy the half. He bought the whole thing, and the person that was living the one next door, he was making the mortgage for the whole thing, so he was living for free right next door.
The things you have to be liquid though, because you have to, like for that loan, we had to come up with I think it's $250,000 to $300,000 to buy the whole thing, and then we would finance the rest. But think about it: if you were able to come up with 2-3 people, or even do a personal loan, or if you were liquid, you could literally live free the rest of your life. And your biggest expense that you're going to have, it's always going to be your house.
Maintenance. Yeah.
So I mean, there's education, I think, is a big part. You know, when it comes to buying cars or houses or anything.
Do your
Oh, yeah.
research first.
Yeah.
Any
Lots.
aspect of
Here's another
purchasing
thing.
something
YouTube
big.
is a great asset for you guys. Yeah, now you have YouTube. You can just search it and learn about anything you want.
There's
You
times
can
that
have it right
there's times I lay down in bed at like 10 o'clock, and next time I look at the time, it's like 1 in the morning. Like, God damn, I gotta work in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
Let me turn this off.
Like yesterday, I was learning how to build cabinets and stuff. I was like,
Oh, that's AV right there.
Yep. Yep. Little thing right there. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. It's all, education and knowledge, man. I like that shit, man. It's, it's good shit.
It's
It's a big part now,
Yeah.
man. Especially with having like the kids right now are learning from home. So as parents, like, bro, some of us haven't been in school in 10, 15 years, and we don't know like the new way of teaching. So we're teaching the kids the old way of math, and they're like, I don't know how to do this. Like, they complicate it, and one of my friends like pretty much had to like yell at her daughter and said, "This is the way you're learning because it's the way I know how to do it." So it's one of those where you gotta listen to your parents at this point to like truly learn stuff instead of having somebody else teach you the stuff. And I know me growing up, my dad told me something, fuck that, I'm gonna go do what I do, and then I got my ass whooped. And then they learned from Juaquin getting his ass whooped to not do this.
Yeah. Damn.
See,
man.
it'd be nice if, like, in school, they talked about, like, how to apply for stuff, like your credit cards, how do the credit cards work, how the car business works, how housing works. That would be dope.
But school is, I think, is designed to keep us just being
Being
stupid.
being bots.
Being the
Following the
9 to
system.
5.
Yeah, schools are designed to be able to teach you how to go back to the system and work for somebody, so somebody else
Can make money. And you just got to get out of that
That's where
mindset.
Private
I
schools
think
kick
that's
in.
where the change, like the people that are making the fucking crazy changes when you start your own school, when you start, that's when you can start teaching people whatever the fuck you
Then,
want.
see, then it leaves us from the south side. What are we?
No bullshit, we're gonna start one.
Hey,
Yep.
fuck it. We can do something
But-
like that.
Yeah, man, I think we covered a lot. It's about to be an hour and 30 minutes into the podcast. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on?
I mean, just don't do it for the gram. Don't do the car
for the
stuff.
gram, yeah,
Don't do
yeah.
it for the gram. I mean, it's cool and everything until you got to make that payment.
Yeah.
Do your research. everything.
Yep.
Let the dopamine.
Yep.
I call your friend if they're in the business. Doesn't
Get a
matter who it
mentor.
is. Call,
Get a-
call
yeah,
them. Call them and get their opinion. Go see them. Obviously, if your friend owns something or is selling something,
Help each other.
hit them up first, and if they can't help you out with
Yeah.
what you're looking for, have them guide you the right way, or recommend somebody for you.
Yeah.
That's what I do now. Like, I sell Fords, so someone's like, "Hey man, I know you sold Rams. Do you know anybody that can help me out with the Rams?" And I got like 6 people. Where do you want to go? You want to go Edmond? You want to go Moore? Where do you want to go?
Oh.
So we just direct them to certain people, and then obviously I do my part and call the homie and be like, "Hey man, I sent you so and so. They'll be there around this time. Take
Yeah.
care of them for me."
Just last month, I didn't sell, but 2 cars. It's like, I'm not in the car business no more. It's like, I got out of the car business because of the headache. And it's like, my brother-in-law was one of them. He's all like, what about this? What about this? Like, man, motherfucker, I stopped selling cars because I don't want to deal with this shit. Call him.
Yeah.
Here's the number. Call them. Don't call me.
Yeah, hell no. Well, shit, let's just wrap it up. Thank you guys for coming through, man. We
Pleasure
appreciate
having
that. Saul, thank you once again, man. Drop us some good dimes there, man. So we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.